Things one might say about Yukinari's clothes. Ill-fitting, mismatched, washed innumerable times, washed on occasion in a mountain stream, beaten on stones. Policeman's insignia like the ribbons a boy wears to pretend to be a warrior. The hem of the gown much too high. Scratched ankles should never be revealed.
Why are you looking at my feet?
Forgive me, I was in a dream.
This friend of the Emperor, Gisaku, still dreaming? You're gazing at the floor now. Did you get my letters?
Yes.
Thank you for yours. Your lists were very fine. Don't shake your head, Shonagon. They were wonderful.
Gisaku. Where do we begin? What evidence is there of murder?
We begin by looking for motive. Try to understand the man.
That will not be easy.
The Emperor has set us a difficult task. But you and I, Lady Shonagon... Now you look out the window. We could examine Gisaku's room.
As you can see, His Majesty showered Gisaku with gifts.
It looks like an avalanche of gifts. Oh, this flute.
Beautiful, isn't it? It belonged to His Majesty. So did most of the books.
The Emperor was...
captivated.
He wasn't in the palace when his favourite died?
No, on pilgrimage.
But the funeral was not hurried?
Of course not. Everything was done properly. More than that, great respect was shown to such a favourite.
Everyone assumed it had been an accident. He fell. But as soon as the Emperor returned...
He ordered an investigation. He sent for you.
Oh, look at this. A lady's fan. Not a gift from His Majesty, surely. Shonagon, you recognise this?
I think it belongs to my friend, Saisho.
Was Saisho ever in this room?
She could not be. These are servants' rooms. I myself feel very uncomfortable.
Yet this is her fan.
I do know that when Gisaku died, she didn't leave her own room for 2 days.
Saisho, tell us, please, about the first time you and Gisaku were alone together. You were alone with him at times, were you not?
It was inevitable. He had freedom to go about the palace.
My question was for your friend. Lady Saisho, you were alone with this Gisaku, weren't you? On several occasions.
As Lady Shonagon said.
You answer.
Lieutenant Yukinari.
Forgive me if I don't maintain all the palace niceties, but a man has been murdered. Your answer, Saisho.
We did meet. At times, yes.
Tell me about your first meeting alone with the victim.
Victim?
Take your time, Saisho.
Yes, take all the time you need, but tell me fully and in detail.
It was in the garden. I was sitting by the...
Sitting where?
By one of the ponds. Not that one. I was watching the fish, daydreaming.
But for a fish, we wouldn't be here. Forgive me, Lady Saisho, is it not?
Yes.
I'm sorry if I startled you. So lovely, graceful, serene. The way they swim there to please our eyes.
What did you mean, but for a fish?
There was a man once who caught a little fish, smaller than his thumb. It begged him for mercy. So, a talking fish, worth holding on to. He put it in a jar. The next morning, it was too big for the jar, so he put it in a pond. Next day, he had to move it to a lake.
And next day into the sea?
Ah, you've heard the story before?
No, I guessed.
Well, before long, even the sea couldn't hold this gigantic talking fish. So the gods sent rain. The gods sent a deluge. Enough water even for this fish to swim in. Unfortunately, it was enough water to flood the whole world. But before this happened, the fish warned the man, and he built a boat. Into the boat, he took 2 of every animal and bird and every kind of seed there was, so that when the waters went down again, well, here we all are, because of a fish. I've heard that story in every tavern and temple in the world.
You have been all over the world?
Oh, yes. Looking for the perfect woman everywhere.
I hope someday you find her.
I already have.
Where?
Everywhere. All over the world. Lady Saisho, you made a guess. May I? You're wondering what age I am.
And he was right. That is exactly what I was thinking.
He was a puzzle. Sometimes he seemed maybe 40 years old, even older.
Other times much younger.
Of an age to be your lover.
I should not be spoken to this way. I am a lady in waiting to the Empress.
And I am an investigator appointed by the Emperor. I've been given license to question anyone.
Have you been given license to abandon good manners?
Saisho, answer me. Did you and that man have an amorous liaison?
What are you doing?
I'm folding paper.
Obviously. To make what? A comical hat to go with your amusing gown?
You think that's the best I can do? No. Something much prettier. One more fold and... there.
It is a bird. That is very clever.
It is a crane. Doesn't it look like a crane?
Well, it looks like a bird.
In this land, the cranes live always in the same place. They spend all their lives by their own lake, by their own shoreline. Always they wade in the same water.
Then we must assume they are happy there.
But there are other kinds of bird.
Many.
There are the kind that travel. Birds of passage. You could say they have several homes. Or they have no home. I am such a bird.
When you tilt your head like that, there is something bird-like about you.
I will leave here, Saisho. Maybe soon. I will be sent away. And when I am, I will be quite happy to go. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So, he warned you he was a rambler. He would soon disappear with no regrets. But you began an affair with him anyway, yes? You took to your bed someone many in this place no doubt regarded as a trickster, an adventurer, not to be trusted. You took this dubious man as a lover. What, no answer?
You give her no time to answer.
Well, and what then? You said you understood. No regrets, no jealousy or clinging. Now, I'm sure Gisaku could live and love like that quite easily. I'm sure it's how he always lived. But you, Saisho, not so easy for you.
Things one has never seen in Yukinari before. In the presence of two ladies, clenched fists, stomping around a room like an angry drunkard, arms akimbo like a strutting boy who has learned how to strut from village fools. A quite disgraceful harshness of speech in the presence of two ladies, an expression on his face that can only be described as a sneer. Discourtesy so appalling it is unforgivable. When I am one of the ladies.
A man from nowhere. A stranger in ragged robes. A storyteller, which of course can mean liar. Such a man seduces a lady or is seduced by her.
That is too much.
He makes no promise.
Too much, Yukinari.
He is candid and sincere as only a liar can be.
And there you are. The perfect woman.
One among many.
No. The only one.
Oh, but we are everywhere, are we not? All over the world.
Only here. Only now. Only you. My perfect woman.
Gisaku, teller of tales, player of games.
Look at me, Saisho. Look intently. Can you see my eyes clearly and my mouth?
Yes.
This is no game, Saisho. I speak from the heart. I adore you. Do you see the truth in that?
I saw it clearly. He was telling the truth. There was adoration in his eyes.
Not so uncommon. A man who adores all women. Where did you and he meet?
Here, in my room.
Never in his.
I was there once.
Saisho. lieutenant's room?
I woke up there.
Saisho? What are you doing here?
Did you not send for me?
No. I've been asleep.
This is your room. I'm in servants' quarters?
Yes. I think you too have been asleep.
How am I to get back? If I'm seen...
What will happen?
I don't know. I should not be here. I cannot be here.
When I was little, I used to walk in my sleep. Did you?
I don't remember.
If you meet anyone, tell them that. You were sleepwalking. You could even go into the corridor and cry out. Raise the alarm yourself.
I was asleep. A dream. I was coming to find you. We were to leave together. I had 2 bags. All I would need.
You sweet woman.
In his eyes then, not adoration, pity. He knew that only in a dream would I have the courage to leave. He saw the coward I was. I saw it too. And at that moment I hated him. But I did not kill him. I loved him.
Explain your behaviour.
It's a technique.
Gross discourtesy to a palace lady is a technique.
A method we use sometimes when questioning a suspect.
You browbeat them?
Yes, well, one of us does, and the other is sympathetic. It often works. You played your part well.
I was not playing a part.
Who in the palace does not play a part?
Lieutenant, do you think you might resume the role you sometimes manage to play of having a degree of good manners?
I'll do my humble best, my lady.
How could Saisho even consider leaving here with that man? I know she never would.
As you would not. With me.
I belong to the Empress.
Belong. You're not a slave.
Maybe I am. A loving one. What now?
Well, I suppose we should speak to one of the lords of this place. Gisaku must have been an outrage to them. And what better example of exquisite palace manners, and so easily outraged, than Lord Tadanobu?
Things that had come between Lord Tadanobu and Lieutenant Yukinari. From one man, disdain. From the other, wariness. And maybe the same the other way around. From one, the knowledge of his rank and ancestry. From the other, the awareness of his intelligence and skill. And maybe the same the other way around. A duel, sword blades. They have come between them. And Lady Shonagon. I have come between the policeman and the Lord.